What's going on, y'all? So listen. What's going on, everybody? So we are back for the last part, the third part of the Married to Medicine season 5 reunion, and baby, it was a heavy one. This reunion, the first half was basically no, I ain't even gonna say the first half. Like the first 15 minutes was basically dedicated to Quad and Dr. G, and then I guess I'll say the last 40 minutes was, 40 minutes was dedicated to Simone and Cecil, and then 5 minutes at the end of the show was, the closing remarks and shit. I said, God damn. And you know what? Excuse my voice. It's just been sinuses and everything been messing up. Acid reflux. It's just got my throat just ugh. But anyway, so if I sound a little deep, I apologize. It ain't my fault. But I must say, overall, before we get into the actual review of this season, this part, because it's not going to be much, but I will say that usually I am not a fan of these multiple part reunions. Why does it have to be two parts? Why can't y'all just extend the thing to an hour and a half to get everything in? Why can't it just be, one part or whatever? You know, but this one I was very much okay with it being that much, these three parts, because these three parts, they did not, put some bullshit in, try to drag it out, some filter shit like they usually do on, I don't give a fuck about them getting dressed. Y'all remember they used to do that? They started doing that like on a Real Housewives reunion, and I think on here too, where, they show like 15, 20 minutes of them getting to the studio, getting dressed, and then coming out there. No, just get straight into it. And that's exactly what they did on here. And it thoroughly kept me entertained and kept me looking forward to seeing the next part each each week. So and once again, like I say, what I got from the whole reunion is that these girls, regardless of if they get into it with each other, everybody on here actually look like they known each other for a minute before the show, most of them, and they have genuine relationships and genuine friendships, and I think that's what draws people to this show, because it feels a little bit more genuine and not so put together like the other reality shows, even the ones that's on Bravo. You know what I'm saying? So, you know with all that being said, let's just get into this review of this third part. It picks up where we left off last week when Quad dropped that bombshell that Gregory was out here doing some fuck shit, okay? He said, well, fuck it, since you want to allude to something, let's put it out there. He went to a hotel, him and his friend, with these two girls, and then, he claimed that he left, and the girl came back trying to put the receipt under the door, trying to blackmail him and all that shit. And he tried to make it seem like it wasn't that recent. And she said, bitch, this was like in the last past year. So if this was last year or in the last year or so, this was during the time that they was filming or right before they started filming. So of course, this plays into the reason why Quad keeps acting the way that she's acting. And in this whole season, we've been saying the bitch doing too much. Do you really know what you want? You sometimes got to put it in layman terms for some people, because obviously whatever it is that you're saying, you're not communicating well enough that Gregory's gonna get it. And what I realized is not really how she's saying it. Gregory just refuses to try to get it. Okay, they both want stuff and they both just don't know how to communicate with it. And he just, you know, let me turn this off. Sorry. He irked me because he even made the statement on the show, how you gonna be a psychiatrist, and girl, my shit is unplugged. No wonder why my battery gone down. The fuck? How he gonna be a psychiatrist and he can't even fix the stuff that's going on in his goddamn marriage, his own marriage, and he don't understand where his wife coming from? And that is a true fucking statement. Um, he basically said nothing happened with the girls, and even the girl came out. The shade room did something with her, whatever. They got the picture. She was a nice looking girl, and she did look like the type of bitch that'd probably go in and try to set a motherfucker up. And the whole time, when Quad said that, oh, he ain't come to me, the girl, I started finding out shit, and then the only thing, he tried to flip it on her to make it seem like it's her fault, and then trying to tell me something. So what we gonna do? You want me to call the cops? So what we gonna do? Pay it off or whatever? And I was like, see, That's some bullshit right there. And in that moment, that just made me even more pissed off with this whole situation with both of them, and mostly Greg. But, you know, Quad, she claims she's trying to be there with her husband, for her husband. And I feel like maybe she is, but also I feel like she really don't like him. And it's understandable with that. She probably really don't like him. And it's okay to say that you don't like a motherfucker right now, okay? And you know, he was just basically, blaming it, and see, that's what Dr. G's situation was with this whole getting set up and blackmail thing. He was blaming it. Well, you got to look at what she did to make me do this and all this stuff. And like all the women were saying, you can't make somebody do something, okay? You did that. And bitch, Toya came through this part, okay? You can't make something, put this on your fucking wife. She ain't make you do that. You put that in your own mind that you gonna go out here and you gonna try to do something. Like I said, on the Shade Room, the girl said that he did not do anything. He left. Okay, he really did leave. So we got that out the way. But it's the fact that you are a married man and that thought was in your head to go and do something like this, that could end you up in a fucked up position where, you could have possibly cheated. Okay, you had that thought in your head for a second. And even Heavenly said, why y'all doing this shit? If you gon' cheat or you don't want to fuck around, you don't want to, why don't you just get over with the relationship, get a divorce, and then you go out and do whatever the fuck it is you want to do. And I agree with that shit. Okay? And that was like all she asking for is apology and for you to own your shit that you fucked up, because he literally was trying to blame her in this situation, and it's not his fault, her fault. You the one that made that conscious decision. You were not drunk, because you got your ass up out there. You made that conscious decision to go to that fucking hotel and to do whatever the fuck it was that you thought you was gonna do. Your homeboy probably stayed and did whatever the fuck he did, but it is what it is. And Simone had to get in that ass. And I was so here for Simone saying this. Simone turned around to all the men and said, you guys are in fucking Atlanta. First she said, you guys are on TV. These bitches are going to be coming after y'all. Okay? And that's what they do. Some women do not, and I'm not even trying to say all women, because most women got respect for themselves. But there are a few select women who are out here, and their main goal is to go in and try to break up shit. Try to fuck shit up. Try to do that blackmail and stuff. And y'all in Atlanta, home motherfucking scammers, bitch. Okay? So Simone went in, was like, you on TV, you a prominent doctor, you this and you that. People see that and they gonna try to come and, fuck your shit up. You should already know that, okay? And then, here go Curtis. We know that now. I said, bitch, if you don't shut the fuck up, his tone and the way he said that, it didn't sit well with me. I said, you of all people, you should have knew it then. Okay? You didn't have to be on this show. You didn't have to be married to a fucking doctor. You didn't have to be married to a fucking doctor with a prominent name in the fucking Atlanta area for you to sit there and go ahead and willingly take your dick out and stick it in another bitch, okay? So you shut the fuck up. That tone just made me want to slap that mole off his goddamn face. Like, he did that. I was just like, we know that now. I said, why you ain't know it then, bitch? So it took being on TV to know this. Girl, shut the fuck up. And eventually Greg tried to make it, because hell, even Damon was getting on him. Eugene was getting on him and trying to, tell him this is how you have to look at it, okay? And I appreciate the men trying to come forward and say some things and do some things and try to get him to see that in this situation it's not Quad, it's you. You have to take responsibility for these actions that you did. Eventually he tried to make a apology to Quad. I want to apologize for putting you through this and having this happen and all this stuff. But bitch, Jackie said, no the fuck, we're not gonna do that tonight. One thing that you don't do when you talking to a woman and you trying to do an apology or whatever, you do not say but. When you fuck up, you do not say but. And I said, you damn right. And that ain't even with a woman. That's with anybody. Because, there are certain situations where if you getting into it with somebody and they claim that you did something and you know you did something or you not sure you did something, people can take it that you apologizing and you don't really mean it if you say but because you're not putting full ownership on yourself, or if you say, well, if I offended you or if this, I apologize. No, 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 no. Take ownership, because obviously if I'm saying I need an apology, you did offend me. So why are you putting if? Why are you putting but? Okay? So, that was that. Quai was just sitting there crying and shit. Bitch, just divorce his ass. You know you don't really like him. You don't really fucking want him. You don't want his babies. It is what it is. He's an old ass man. The nigga probably disgust you. You probably tired of his motherfucking voice. Because, bitch, I've been over that voice since season 1. Okay? But moving on from that, the next thing that they talked about with the whole situation with Simone and Cecil's relationship. One point that stood out to me was when Toya was like, the whole time we were sitting in the back and we was talking about the thing when the men was back and being talked to with Andy, and they was talking about the situation. He never said anything about. She was like, I gave him points or whatever about how he was expressing himself towards, Simone, when she was saying that she never really heard him say, I love you like that. And, I heard him say it 2 times this season. Okay. So I was like, you get a little point for that. But see, that point got taken away from when you easily sat there and you said that you love Tammy. Bitch, when Toya threw the name out there, I said, was we supposed to know that her name was Tammy? Y'all out there trying to look up every fucking Tammy up in Atlanta, bitch. Let me just tell you, Cecil got the game fucked up, okay? I don't know what's going on with these men, but goddamn. Now, see, I can understand why one person may be in both quiet situation. I can understand why, Dr. Gregory could be, kind of over her and, her habits and things of that such. Sometimes we get into a relationship with some people and we think that it's all to the good what they used to do and I can put up with it. But then after a year or so, when you settle in, or maybe 2, the stuff just starts to change and it starts to get on your nerves, and then you're not communicating. You don't know how to communicate and say, babe, this is irritating me. It was cute at first, but we need to work on this and work on that. I can get that. I can see all sides of this shit. And then when it comes to Cecil and Simone, the same damn thing. Simone seems like the type of person that's extremely sensitive, emotional too, but aggressive. That shouting and all that bullshit, bitch, I would have been gone. Because what you ain't gonna do, you ain't finna be shouting. And, when I'm trying to talk to you, that tweet has really went fucking viral. Oh, Beyonce, bitch. Fuck you. But anyway, see you in August, how? I wouldn't be able to deal with that shit, bitch. I'm sorry, I don't care if you probably making more than me or whatever. I can be, now, bitch, if it comes down to it, and if I really need to, I can be a kept woman, bitch, okay? What you need me to do? I can stay at home with the non-existent kids and play with the dog and clean the house for a second if you paying for it and shit. But, bitch, what you ain't gonna be doing is screaming all up in my face when we trying to talk, okay? Simone, I ain't saying that she do, but Simone do look like she probably done hit Cecil a couple of times before in these arguments. Let's be honest, and I know I ain't the only one that's been thinking it. Cecil, I can kind of see where Cecil coming from a little bit, because Cecil is very nonchalant in his feelings, and it's not that he don't have them. He's just not the type of person that expresses them like everyone else. That it'd be like, it's so easy for them to say, I love you, and say, hey, baby, giving calls and stuff like that, and showing that affection. And he got with somebody who needs that, and I understand where he's coming from on that front, because I'm exactly the same way. All right, like, bitch, you ain't gonna force me to say I love you until I want to say I love you. And then even sometimes when I say it, it don't even sound right coming out of my mouth, and that's how I know, fucking bitch, I'm lying. But I get it. I don't display my emotions like that. I'm very nonchalant to things. It seems like Capricorn. Cause bitch, you are showing a whole bunch of Capricornians shit. We got some issues, okay? Capricorn's got issues, but he probably not. But still, goddamn, cause me and him, we kind of the same in a sense. The way that it took them and very bullheaded, okay, stubborn. That's what it seems like with Cecil, and that passive aggressiveness, okay. It like he takes it all in, but don't say nothing until it explodes over later on in the situation that we didn't thought it was over with. Simone is just automatically aggressive. Okay, she's aggressive with that shit. And fire sparks, boom, boom. When they first got together, it probably was hot as hell. Like, damn, bitch, that is cute. You crazy as fuck. After 20 fucking years, it's like, look, I'm tired of the shits, okay? He probably didn't learn how to tune her out and drown her out. You know what I'm saying? And that's how come he probably been emotionally unavailable, bitch. And then did y'all see how Dr. Greg was over there trying to get them counseling and shit? Talk to Cecil and shit about the thing. I said, see what they say. You can help other people in their relationship. And he was doing the darn thing. But he can't do his own shit with his relationship. Ain't that something? Ain't that something? So that was going on. And, Cecil was like, the whole thing with not showing love and saying I love you is because he didn't come. He learned, it's a learned behavior. He didn't grow up with all of that. Okay. So that's how he displayed it to his wife. And, he want to do better. And all that stuff. And Cecil, when it was just really sad to see the footage that it went back, and it was little Michael sitting there talking about are they getting divorced, and how he was just sitting there like he knew that it was bullshit. And she said Michael was like him. He, like her, in a sense that you can tell that it's affecting him about the divorce, and they try not to fight in front of him. It was some things going on at one point where he had a little basketball game and they both sat on opposite sides of the gym. Miles, he's in college, and she said he's more so like Cecil, very nonchalant, so you can't tell if it's affecting him or not. And let me tell you something, Simone, to put that out there, you do know that it's affecting him. It's affecting him. It's affecting that whole household, okay? Your son may not display it, may not show it. He trying to, focus on school, but it's affecting him, okay? Nobody wants to see when they grow up and they know that their parents, all they saw is their parents together and being loving or whatever, and they know that they had little issues here and there because that's how it is. Nobody wants to fully see their parents breaking up at no matter what age it is, okay? No matter if they're a kid or an adult. Don't nobody want to see that when you thought that they had a loving relationship. Don't nobody want to see that. So yeah, it's there. But when they was talking about Tammy and this whole situation, bitch, when Simone said you had this bitch come over for Christmas and she was in my house for 8 days, okay? 8 days, and the bitch lives in Atlanta. I said, bitch, the fuck what? She living in Atlanta, we living in Atlanta. What the fuck you doing? She can't drive over and then leave after a couple of hours. Bitch, first of all, Simone, you good, because it wouldn't have been me. I would have been said something. It wouldn't have been allowed in my house. And Cecil didn't understand that your wife has an issue with this woman, that you clearly seems like there's truly more affection for this woman who you claim is your best friend than it is for your wife. And she sees it. And that's what's pissing her off. And everybody, including the men, was saying, you're going to have to drop the bitch, okay? That's what you have to do. Don't no woman want to sit here that's married to a man want to sit here and hear their husband, speak so highly of this other woman. But then when it comes to their relationship, they ain't got shit to say. There's no emotions involved or whatever, and they had to get his ass together because he wasn't seeing it. He wasn't understanding it. And it was like, bitch, you gotta drop that bitch. If you want your relationship, you have to drop that bitch. Because Simone said, when we get home, the lawyer's gonna send over the papers, and hopefully, we had an uneventful separation, and hopefully we'll have an uneventful, divorce, meaning no issues or whatever. All gotta do is have Cecil sign and we'll be done. And the whole time she just kept on screaming, no, don't try to tell him nothing. It's done. Cecil full of shit. It's this, it's that, it's done. And I was like, yeah, you just saying that because you hurt. She's hurt. That's why she's saying that. Because she love that man. She love that man. You love that man because you put up with the bullshit that you said you claimed been happening throughout the relationship. You put up with it for an extra 10 years, okay? You put up with it for 21 years. You love that man. You invested in that man. And then they started talking about, her being a doctor and all this stuff, and Dr. Jackie comes in and try to say, because Simone was saying she got 2 full-time jobs when they started filming, and they had issues and started doing counseling and stuff before filming, and it was like, once we start filming, that's another job right there, and he can still just go play golf, and I still got to be out here doing this job, doing that job, and all this shit. Dr. Damon had to come in and say, bitch, it don't matter. If you want a relationship, you got to make that shit work. Okay, Dr. Jackie had to come in and put her little 2 cents in. She just speaking from the viewpoint of somebody who's been in that situation where they see their relationship is crumbling. Okay, and even Curtis had admit that, Dr. Jackie has changed. She listened to what he was saying, what he needed, and she has changed for the most part. Yeah, you can come and sit here. Get that. And, they working on being better. Hey, 2 minutes. Or you gonna all right. So that happened. Okay. Bitch, it's the weekend. My sister over here. Her daddy finna come pick her up tomorrow. Thank fucking God, so she can go. These little teenagers and they fucking attitude. I don't have fucking time for it. But anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, so when they did a little break, Quad said, "Can I get a bathroom break? It might be long." They did a break or whatever, and the men and everybody else that did not go in the back was just chewing into Cecil, trying to get him to see, you gotta let that bitch go. Okay, you gotta fight for your marriage. If you claim you want the marriage, you gotta fight for it. Toya was, talking back there to Simone and trying to give her a little pep talk and all that. And at the end of it, when they came back out, Cecil and Simone literally sat there and he apologized. He apologized and he was like, "Bitch, if you want me to let Tammy go, I'll call that hoe right now. Okay? And we done. Bitch, let me ask y'all this. Okay? To my women and to my men no, I'm just say to my married couples. Okay? Or anybody in a relationship. Are you okay with your spouse, your significant other having a best friend that's of the opposite sex and they spending a little bit more time? How do you deal with that? Do you feel threatened or feel a type of way or don't trust it? Or are you, okay or cool with it? Let's discuss that in the comments. That's a good fucking thing. So basically they made up for the most part. And Simone claims that she ain't gonna file for divorce. She gonna, hold off on the lawyers or whatever now. They did kiss a little bit. He was crying. I was like, damn. Okay, they had a little fucking breakthrough. They had a breakthrough. They gonna do their shit. Eugene and Toya, they still cool. They the only one that really ain't got that much issues. No hard hitting issues this season. Heavenly, she said looking at the whole relationship aspect of it, she was scared to put her relationship out there and the stuff that's going on because she feared that, putting it out there in the national public on TV on this show, it'll cause a rift in the relationship, make the issues bigger. But after seeing what happened with Simone and Cecil and how they just talked that shit out on the TV because of the show, it kind of brought them full circle and brought them kind of like back together. So she may be, opening up a little bit more because, Heavenly likes to act like her shit perfect as fuck. And even Damon said, we ain't perfect, okay? We got issues, Quad is the only one basically that's on the fence. Mariah, they talked about Mariah stuff and saying, do you feel like, I guess some of the things changed or whatever. It seems like they probably turning another leaf. And even with Quad, because Mariah said something and Quad, nodded and was smiling at her, So, hopefully they put their issue, because I was tired of that shit. And I'm so glad they didn't dwell on it this season. They put that shit to bed. Quiet, basically she said if the shit gonna continue to do the way that it's doing in her marriage, she can't do it. I said, bitch, because we can't do it either, because we tired. We tired of seeing your semi-fake tears. But anyway, that was Married to Medicine. It was a good season, like I said. You guys tell me how you felt about the season overall and how you felt about all 3 parts overall of the reunion. And I will see you guys later. Peace. I gotta go to fucking work this weekend. Saturday and Sunday. Ain't that about a bitch?